His name is Scotty Parker, from Milliondara Way. A rural jack of all trades, never has too much to say. Now he's pretty good with cattle, got some fairly handy dogs. But he's known as the Whisperer, the man who talks to hogs. He's got a PhD in pork, speaks fluently in grunt. He knows everything about them inside out and back to front. Now we're not talking your domestic breed, give the man a break. Berkshires, large whites, Tamworth Reds, piece of bloody cake. Now the Whisperer likes a challenge, so you know that he'll be found chasing filthy, feral, fetid hogs that reek and root around. You're a squealing, squawking porker that's been trapped and acting tough. Will be as timid as a lamb once the Whisperer does his stuff. But it isn't only swine, other creatures love him too. They're still talking about the carnies that he calls at Dubbo Zoo. See, they had this female hippo that had lost her sexual form. They got the Whisperer on the phone, and he was talking up a storm. Well, they had to call him back an hour later just to get the antidote. She'd fixed up 3 bull elephants, 2 tourists and a goat. But it's a pig he can't forget, the biggest one he'd whispered down, a humongous redneck razorback who'd terrorised a town. Everyone was packing death, but Scotty walked straight in to the biggest hog he'd ever seen. But he just winked and gave a grin, then a snort and grunt and squeal. It was bloody weird to see. He said, "Put away the shotguns, boys, he's coming home with me." Well, it jumped up on his 4-wheel drive, completely filled the tray. Scotty gave his snout a scratch, hopped in and drove away. Now, Scotty's dogs were kept on chains because they'd rip your legs to pieces. But he said, "Nothing holds old Razor, mate. He just does as he pleases." He's a mongrel in the garden, but there is a major plus. There's been some thieving in the district. No one ever bothers us. So you can smell annoying bastards 2 miles down the track. He'll toss his head, charge their car. Not too often they come back. Now things can happen for a reason, coincidence or fate. Whatever it was, Scotty now had strangers at his gate. And he'd led his dogs to Kunta. Razor too was missing. But the Whisperer wasn't worried, it was Razor's rutting season. Now some people look for trouble and deserve all that they get. Into 3 young mixed up punks who didn't know it yet. They were on the run and headed east. They'd nicked a car in Gundy and fired up with false bravado and fuelled by speed and Bundy. They thought they'd stage a home invasion. And as they passed the boundary well, they turned right at Scotty's signpost for a journey into hell. Scotty thought it was Kunta bringing back the hounds, but they marched up with 22s and said, "Hit the bloody ground. Just give us all your money or we'll shoot you here and now." Scotty said, "You dickheads, I'm a farmer. The best who gets a cow." They decked him with a rifle butt, but he struggled to his feet. He mustered all his strength and let out a loud "Soo-wee." Now, through many years of whispering hogs, Scotty knew it all. And the long "soo-wee" to Razor was a danger, danger call. They heard a rumble in the distance, the sound of fallen logs. "Oh, what's that?" one punk asked Scotty. He replied, "It's just me hog." Well, the ground began to tremble, the head punk got the shakes. The Whisperer warned, "Look out, boys, I think he's brought his mates." They rushed to the veranda, the air was full of grunt. From a mob of 57 hogs with Razor at the front. The moon lit up the monster's tusks, his eyes were filled with hate. 150 kegs of angry bacon had come to save his mate. The punks fired their 22s. They had Razor in their sights. But 22s to Razor, they were just like mozzie bites. All it did was make him cranky. The punks were losing heart. Scotty shook his head and said, "Fellas, that wasn't very smart." The invaders now were shitting bricks. One began to cry. The Whisperer said, "Hand me the guns, you might get out alive." take off your shoes, lose your clothes. Want to give the word, get running. I'll give you a 15-minute start. Then you'll hear the grunters coming. Well, the cops were on the spot when out the gates of hell they flew. They were yelling, bloody pigs! So they copped a flogging too. The pig now lives a life of luxury, which upsets Scotty's bride. I mean, he's got a 5-star style, but hey, the bastard sleeps inside. And he loves his trips to town where he guards the Whisperer's truck. And if anyone tries to nick it, well, let's just say they're out of luck. And the razor breeding program, it's dead set going great. Scotty makes a bloody fortune selling guard pigs interstate. But he hasn't lost the magic. He's still the swinging king of swine. And if you've got problems with a hog, he can help you every time. Don't try to tackle it yourself. You'll be headed for a fall. Let your fingers do the walking. Give the Whisperer a call.